Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Christian Brothers College High School, home of those CBC cadets. Tonight we welcome the DeSmet Spartans at DC Local Gymnasium on the Monterey campus. Appreciate your attendance here tonight, and we thank you for your support of Catholic education to our students. And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise? Gentlemen, remove your caps for tonight's prayer and the playing of our national anthem. Let us remember that we are in the holy presence of God. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord, we thank you for being with us tonight. Let us continue to experience your love through the grace, compassion, and friendship offered by the people we encounter every day. As we enjoy tonight's contest, please help us to do so with good sportsmanship and respect. We give you thanks for the talents of these young men, and we pray that they carry the bonds of brotherhood formed through athletics with them for the rest of their lives. Bless our efforts as we develop young men who are guided by faith, strengthened by intellect, committed to justice, and prepared to lead and serve. For this we pray, amen. St. John Baptist LaSalle, live Jesus in our hearts. And now let's meet the starting lineup for DeSmet. Starting at guard with 6-foot sophomore number 3, Will Falk. Starting at 4 with 6'4" junior number 4, Jordan Boyd. Starting at guard with 6'3" senior number 5, Riley Massey. Starting at guard with 6' senior number 10, Owen Duff. And starting at guard with 6'4" junior number 23, Ian Thomas. The Spartans are coached by Mr. Ken Williams.
Welcome to the booth, everybody. You heard the starting lineups. We had the prayer, we had the national anthem. That means the next thing is the tip. My name is Tom Eichwald, and alongside me is Chris Maris tonight as we bring you CBC versus DeSmet. Cadets come into this game with a record of 10-8. The DeSmet Spartans, who lead the MCC by record, they are at 19-2. We have Nikola Radovic going up for the tip against Jordan Boyd. Cadets are in white on the left side of your screen and the DeSmet Spartans in the black on the right side. We are underway. Again, Tom Eichwald alongside Chris Maris. And Chris, chance for the Cadets to try to bounce back after the last game between these two.
It is, and a tough game. Started out okay and went pretty far where CBC competing, but ultimately CBC fell.
Early opportunity for Boyd. First 2 points of the game. He had 17 against the Cadets last time around as the Cadets look to bounce back. You might have heard starting lineups over PA. We're going to give them to you here as well. For CBC, it's number 0, Devin Houston, number 1, Jaden Reed, number 3, Chris Brown, 21, Nikola Radovic, as Reed levels for the Cadets, and 23, the freshman Tristan Howard.
Nice cut to the basket pass by Devin Houston. They collapsed on Devin, and Jaden was right there underneath the basket.
For the DeSmet Spartans, speaking of underneath the basket, missed opportunity there for 23, Ian Thomas. He is joined by number 10, Owen Duff, 5, Riley Massey, 4, Jordan Boyd, and 3, Will Folk. The DeSmet Spartans are coached by Kent Williams, assisted by Steve Niedenbach and Armand Provo. And the Cadets, of course, coached by Sam Briscoe, with assistants Mike Cross, Jahari Reed, and Ryan Briscoe. Radovic with the lay-in in front of the student body.
So after a Devin Houston miss, nice rebound right there for Jaden Reed as he stole the ball right at half court. Sent Radovic in uncontested.
You could tell what the student body wanted. They wanted the dunk. He gave them the lay-in, but we'll take the 2 points. 3-pointer from Boyd.
Fireworks early from both teams.
Spartans, a very good shooting team. The Cadets have had their nights. They've had the potential. They've also had some nights where it just wasn't falling for them. Reed, there it goes.
Lots of fireworks, as I said earlier. Both teams coming out hot.
Good fast start on a Friday night. I have a feeling this point sheet's going to be busy tonight. This is Folk, pop-up jumper. And it seems like everything's going at the moment.
The hoop is open.
Yes, it is.
Accepting deposits. Get our first foul in the game.
Yep.
And they're calling it on Chris Brown on the push-off there.
No, it's Nikola.
And then did he hit Briscoe with a technical right away?
Or did they get Nikola with the technical?
Oh, I guess they did. Okay.
So I think that's an initial foul. They've got a 2 up on the board, so that's an initial foul and a technical. So he's quickly up to 2 fouls.
Boy, with as much as I see officials put up with in these games, the fact that he was that short fused that quickly must not have had a very good Friday at work.
And the second of the technical free throws for Massey is good. Gives them a 1-point advantage, and we are back on the floor.
Jake Plummer first comes in for Radovic there.
And you can see Coach just talking to him a little bit, making sure his head's where it needs to be. Not the ideal start for him. But Nico's a very smart young man and a good basketball player, a good head on his shoulders. He'll sort himself out. 3-point attempt for DeSmet. So it turns out the rims do work tonight.
And Tristan Howard with the rebound right there. And that was an uncontested 3. He had a good look at it.
Yeah, it was Owen Duff with the shot. And hopeful effort there from Brown. Loose ball. DeSmet comes away with it. Duff again. Good job by Howard and Plummer first to slow the Spartans down on the break there. Folk, jumper, no good. And here we go the other end, Jaden Reed. Chris, it's going to be a busy night for Mr. Randy Gardner taking that camera back and forth.
He is.
It's a bit of a tennis match for him.
He's going to end up with tennis elbow on the whole thing. Back and forth, back and forth.
And with all that, it's an 8-7 game. Not for long. 9-7. Cadets take the lead. Devin's on the board.
Kind of trademark Devin Houston right there. Contested jumper. Contested layups.
Doesn't mind getting into making contact.
No, he loves the contact.
And a nice lay-in for Boyd.
Little reverse. Jaden Reed tried to come over with some backside help and got up and forced him to go for the reverse instead of straight up for the layup. But
Brown does well to keep his feet there.
Yeah, he does.
His right foot slipped out from under him. Now Howard.
Howard, one of those freshmen that for CBC that has done so much for that B team, and also been very, very strong in the last few games for CBC.
Foul given to Ian Thomas of DeSmet.
Braden Alford, one of those other freshmen, checks in right here. These guys do not play scared at all in a varsity basketball game.
Plummer first. Puts it up. That ball had a long think about it, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It rolled out of there. Just didn't get the right spin on it.
Boyd in the corner for three. That is good. Great start for him, as he is quickly up to 10 points with only 3:47 to go in the first quarter. He is the guy you got to watch out for. Boyd comes into this game averaging 12.8 a game, leads the Spartans.
Devin Houston with a little runner right there. Little half block right there by Jake Plummer first.
And the Cadets reset. Houston's got Howard. Nice drive. And Howard up and over.
He's going to get the N1.
Look at that.
And that's what I'm talking about. Comes baseline on that. Goes up strong.
The 5'9" freshman driving through contact.
And you know, we've got to see that. I mean, more and more playing time as this season has progressed. Been a catalyst. I mean, these freshmen, along with Kyron Jackson, a catalyst for this team a couple weeks ago against Vianney. Jaden Reed with the big rebound.
Howard for three, good.
Missed the free throw, but got the give back from Jaden Reed and made them pay.
You know, I thought the other way was supposed to be the easier way to get the three-point play. But he embraced the difficulty of it. Spartans reset at the top. This is Duff. That's a drive that looked a lot like a travel, but there's going to be a foul on the floor. They're going to get, is that Howard? Oh, no, it's 33.
They're going to
Plummer
Jake Plummer first.
First foul for him, third for the team. 2:47 to go in the first. Tom Eichwald and Chris Maris bringing you Cadet basketball on a Friday night on the Cadet Student Network. We got CBC in the white uniforms. They're going left to right. And the visiting Spartans from DeSmet in the all-black uniforms going right to left. That is Boyd. Now Folk. No, it's not Folk. That was Riley Massey into the game. And lay-in attempt is no good from Nick Harper. Houston comes away with it. Three-point attempt. No good, rattled out. Good rebound by Alford. Thought about the shot, pulls it down, and Houston resets.
But the poise of the freshman right there to think about get it out, Jake. Not getting too greedy.
Long-range three for Houston, no good. Inside of 2 minutes to go here. 16-13 the score. The Cadets lead by 3. And that's a giveaway.
Tipped.
Here's Houston. Layup, good. 6 points for him now.
CBC very active on defense.
Very quick team. Excellent footwork is the norm on this team.
No foul, no charge, nothing. Briscoe runs down the side.
That's 2 points
and
for Harper.
He dropped his shoulder good.
Still chatting with the official over there. At the other end, finger roll no good from Reed. And the Spartans come away with it. Down by 3. This is an attempt to tie it here. Nope. Pulls it down, drives. Back out to the corner. That is a three-point attempt, no good.
Jake Plummer first, been good on the boards so far for the Cadets here early on.
Yes, he has. DeSmet just with a chance to tie it there, unable to do so as the ball rattles out. Cadets put a little bit of daylight as we get toward the end of this quarter. 47 to go. This is Howard up top. He's going to drive. Goes with the shot, no good. Gets his own rebound. And back up, no good. Plummer first again. He goes up, draws the foul.
Not a bad little sequence right there for the Cadets. Howard trying to get that layup to fall. Couldn't quite get it. Little crossover to get down the lane.
That is the first foul for Jordan Boyd.
There we go, Jake. Chris Brown's going to come in and give Jaden Reed a little bit of a rest. You're going to see CBC, I think, play lots of guys here.
And Jake goes 1 for 2 on that trip. 30 seconds. Spartans down by 4. Looks like they're going to hold for the last shot. Down at 20.
This is one of the things where the nuance of basketball eludes me. There's a lot of time there, an opportunity for, how many times do you see teams don't get anything on these last shots? I watch them come on in
5 seconds. Roll, no good. Houston comes away with it. Does get it away in time, no good. And we end the first quarter 19-15. Go ahead and finish that point, Chris.
Well, at this point in time of the game, you want a good possession, and you got to trust that you're going to be able to get back on defense and be able to slow CBC down. I would, as a coach, from my perspective, I would much rather just get the points. Like, set up your offense, run it from there, get the points that you can, and be like, okay, now we're going to come and play defense. Who gives a care who has the ball last? It's not like it's a tie game in the fourth quarter or even at the end of the half. There's just so much game left to go. Get your points on your possessions while you can. And you just waste so much time where you could be moving the ball and doing other things other than standing out by the table doing nothing.
That's Chris Maris. I'm Tom Eichwald. I want to welcome you to the Cadet Student Network on a Friday night. We are a quarter of the way through proceedings. 19-15 is the score as the Cadets lead. Folks, we could not do this without a lot of people who support our work. If you have watched CSN before, you've definitely heard us mention our good friend, State Farm agent, CBC alum Tim Kylo. If you have something that could be insured, whether that's a home, a life, a boat, anything, he wants to insure it and he wants to save money on it. So if you are looking for insurance protection, or if you just want to know if the deal you got is good or if you can do better, reach out to Tim. You can email him at tim@timkylo, that's KILO.com, or you can call him at 314-842-4442. That's Tim Kylo, 314-842-4442. for help on your insurance. He is the presenting sponsor of CSN, and we're incredibly grateful for his support.
So we didn't announce them at the beginning of the game, but our officials tonight are Phil Lashley, Damon Patterson, and Brad Stonecipher. 3 veteran officials. Been around a while.
I wonder if there was just a person or two out there wondering if our alumni director was allowed to referee this game before you got to the last half of Brad Stonecipher's name. Of course, Brad Stone, our director of alumni.
And our car raffle drive extraordinaire.
Yes.
It helps with our car raffle drive that's going on right now.
He is doing a great job. This is Alford, who's out there for CBC. He's out there with Howard, Plummer First, Houston, and Brown. We're going to get a foul here against DeSmet.
I think it's Butler. Is that 11?
Correct. That is 11. Butler, correction. This is Howard. For DeSmet, it is Folk. We'll get back to that in a second. Alford's shot is good.
And Alford had like 17 in the game against Cape Central. I think 15 of those were in the first half. He kind of set the tone. Silky smooth shot.
Well, and he doesn't need much to get himself going.
No.
He hits from three-point range. He starts feeling it. It can snowball in a hurry on you. We'll get to that DeSmet lineup as soon as the action slows down here. This is Massey. No good. Now Alford for CBC. Up and draws the foul. And he is going to go to the line. That was Massey. So for DeSmet out there right now, it is Massey, Folk, Boyd, Thomas, and who am I missing? Young man tying his shoe, not showing me his number. I think that's 33, Christian Ronkin. He's 6'4", junior forward. He's going to see how long he can hide his number. There it is.
Oh.
First one no good from Alford.
I'm going to get some subs here. Kyron Jackson's going to see his first action of the game. Jaden Reed's going to give Devin Houston a little bit of a rest.
And they always make the change right after you read the roster, but on for DeSmet now is Owen Duff. He replaces Ronkin. Alford 0 for 2. You're not going to see that very often, folks.
Free throws are a different animal, and, you see a lot of these guys that make these threes, and And I think he'll take that. Good. I mean, Christian Potts showing his post presence right there. I think he got mostly ball. He's kind of arguing that a little bit, but
I think Coach
Thomas is going to go to the free throw line.
Coach Briscoe asking for an explanation, or more accurately, offering an alternative explanation as the first one goes from Thomas. Well, you don't see him animated quite like that with officials all that often, but there have just been a couple early in this game that you can tell have not gone down well on the home bench. 6:41 to go here in the second quarter. 22-17 the score as the Cadets lead against DeSmet. Be a good win for CBC to pick up.
Well, shoot, DeSmet's got 2 losses. I mean, they're one of the best teams in the area. Them and Chaminade, and you know, we talked about Chaminade last week.
3-point attempt for Massey, no good. Rebound pulled in by Boyd.
He gets the putback.
12 points for him.
I mean, DeSmet's only got the 2 losses, one of them to Chaminade. Chaminade hasn't lost to a team in the St. Louis area.
It's actually been a while since CBC has beaten DeSmet. Currently 0 for their last 5 against the Spartans. How about that? Massey trying to create a little space. Up and good.
Tight defense right there, but that gets the game back to a 1-point game for DeSmet on a little mini run right here, and CBC looks to regroup.
It's one of those little points about situational points about a team like DeSmet, just a really good team. CBC has not been bad the last few minutes, just a little bit slow, and just like that, DeSmet closes the gap. They take away everything that CBC had worked for, down to a 1-point lead. So a dangerous team, you just can't give them time and space.
No, you really can't. And DeSmet's other loss to Jonesboro, Arkansas, so not a local team, 56-53, along with that 14-point loss to Chaminade. So you're talking about a very polished team, a team who won a state championship last year in Class 5. And ironically enough, you're going to have Chaminade and DeSmet and CBC and Hazelwood Central all in the same district when district play opens up here in a couple weeks.
Break from the timeout with 5:45 remaining in the quarter. This is Kyron Jackson. He's out there with Brown, Alford, Reed, and Potts.
They're going to get Boyd.
Second foul for him.
He's going to get checked out pretty quickly. It looks like Ronkin's going to come in.
Reed's going to inbound. Good defense from DeSmet. It's an equally good job by Jackson to get himself open some space, and Reed's able to keep that ball for CBC.
That was a heads-up play right there. It was rolling away. Reed managed to bat it off the DeSmet player, and CBC kind of averted some disaster right there.
Great view of that from that CBC scoring table over there. A lot of coaching experience. Of course, you got Butch Dimovitz, defensive coordinator extraordinaire. You got Mikey Goad, coach of the CBC rugby team. You got the legend, Mike McCormick, been coaching here forever. And then you have...
Still coaching golf.
Still coaching golf. He's technically he's my boss in the golf program. And then you got Matt DeGrief over there, who's been around coaching for a long, long time. And that's a 3-point attempt. Good for Reed.
Yeah, rolled it down on the hoop right there. Jaden Reed gives CBC a little bit more comfortable lead.
You know, Chris, that is, I think, one of my favorite things about these basketball games. You get a good look at that scoring table, and it is always a list of people. I mean, you see Scott Pingle working the table. You got Bernie Siller, varsity cross-country coach. The way these coaches support other programs really is fantastic. I'm sure they're helping with football, too. But there's so many people around, it's hard to see. 3-point attempt good from Duff.
But the one thing you don't see at basketball, you see the table. When at a football game, you're not looking up in the press box to see who's all up there running doing those games. Matt DeGrief does the clock for a lot of those games. I'm up there doing CSN as you are many times, and that's just some of the people. You got people doing music and the play clock and so many other things.
Takes a lot of people to make these games happen, and we're very, very grateful to all of them. Especially when it means we get to just sit here, watch, and talk about it. This is ball out, so this will be CBC underneath. That's Potts is going to come out and give Plummer First another spell on the court.
The ball came down to Potts in the block. He didn't handle it very cleanly, and then almost lost the ball. The DeSmet player stepped out of bounds. Ultimately, CBC gets to keep the ball here.
It'll be Houston inbounding with 4:21 remaining in this first half. All the way back for Howard.
Well, he was the safety valve on that. Look at that alley-oop.
Up and over Riley Massey.
Not alley-oop, but I mean, tossing it up there.
Surprised not to hear the "he's a freshman" chant from the CBC student section.
I think he's getting called for a foul right here as he was trying to sneak around and poke that ball away as it came in.
First foul for Tristan. With 4:04 remaining, 27-24, so 3-point lead for the Cadets. And a great pick there by Ronkin.
Calling an offensive foul.
And so
legal screen, I'm going to guess, is what they called there. As they were screening off, and CBC was trying to get around, and he gave him a little bit of a shove as he was trying to get out to defend that shot.
So that is Ronkin with the foul. Means the basket from Duff is no good, and here's Reed. It's a little bit of space. It's floated past to Howard. So quick, Tristan Howard. In about 1 second, Tristan Howard went from receiving the ball, looking at a shot, spinning, and passing.
Officials are going to talk about it. It was hard to tell who that came off of. It went off of Jake, but then it looked like it went off of the DeSmet player also after it went off of Jake.
That is what the officials say.
And I think this is Lashley, Phil Lashley right in front of us here. You know, he immediately blew the whistle to come back in there to figure that out, to help them figure that out.
Reed pulls it in, runs in a loop, and lays it up.
Kind of half Euro step right there to get that layup.
It is 10 points now for Jaden. He leads the way for the Cadets, followed by Howard with 7, Houston with 1.
Long three-point attempt is good with Jake Plummer First in his face for Folk.
Will Folk up to 5 points? That is a lot of young man to shoot over. Contact there between Thomas and Howard. Now Alford.
He tries to do one better.
He comes away. Houston rebound. No foul. Arms all over him. And now Massey. Well, you can see Folk wanted it in the corner. Massey's
and he was wide open, but Massey took it there to tie it up. And boy, at the beginning of that offensive sequence for CBC, a huge push by DeSmet on Tristan Howard. And Devin Houston comes right back down and puts it in. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to steal your job here, Tom.
No, you're good.
You're making a note. Stuff's happening.
I'm going to keep my points and fouls unofficially. We'll try to check them at halftime, make sure we give you the best information you can.
Almost lost it right there.
Yeah, he did. Thomas, this is a three-pointer. They are not shy about pulling the trigger from long range.
Well, both these teams like to shoot and don't have a lot of size. Another one like that for Jaden Reed. He wants the N1 on the foul as he curled that, took his steps, and gave it a little kiss off the glass.
And he now ties Boyd for game high with 12 points. Folk from the hip. No good. That's going to be out off of CBC. That's a DeSmet ball. That one pretty clear. No arguments. Folk is going to get a break as...
I'm going to guess
12. I think it's Nick Harper coming back.
Coach Williams probably didn't like that last shot right there, even though he's made some deep ones.
Well, you could see it was kind of a late decision on the shot because the ball was down on his hip, and he kind of brought it up from there. Didn't look like he really got into his set very well. Inside of 2 minutes remaining. And there's the fadeaway, and good from Massey. Young man headed to North Dakota State next year. Just signed on Wednesday. Wish him well. And Houston for 2.
Devin doing Devin things. Contested shots, lots of contact. I mean, it's a very, very physical game.
And Massey goes around him, no good. It's going to draw the foul from Alford.
Really, really, really late whistle on that.
CBC foul number 22, Brandon Alford, his
First foul for Alford.
Shooting 2 for the Spartans, number 5, Riley Massey.
Sends Massey to the line. In case you're wondering at home, Riley Massey, a 75.4% free throw shooter.
And we'll take that.
Some help from the crowd on that one, no good. As Radovic comes back out.
His first action since getting technical.
Plenty of basketball ahead of us, though.
Wow, you probably won't see that very often. Riley Massey missing both free throws, and even through the headset, you can hear the CBC crowd probably affecting that a little bit.
And the shot no good. DeSmet comes away with the rebound. Good defense, but somehow Duff slips through. Now Mullen underneath. Ronkin, good.
Nice reverse layup by Ronkin there. CBC tried to trap and ultimately got out of position a little bit defensively and had trouble getting back and getting set.
I don't see it often. I think Ronkin actually got a benefit from the metal framing of the backboard there as it hit and came straight down into the hoop.
Oh, that ball was halfway down the cylinder before it came out.
27 seconds. Three-point attempt from Duff is no good. Rebound comes to Radovic, gets away from him. Harper back up. Fights through contact, no good. 19 seconds.
Oh,
Finally good from Ronkin.
Ronkin and a putback and right over the CBC defender.
35-35. CBC with 8 seconds to get a shot away here. Try to take a lead into halftime. Houston goes through 2, floats it, no good, and that will do it for the first half of CBC and DeSmet. We mentioned Tim Kylo. Want to say thanks to many of our sponsors. We'll tell you all about them in the second half. We'll tell you all about Mercy. We will tell you about Chick-fil-A, Athletic Republic, BSN Sports, and Under Armour. We want to tell you how grateful we are for all of their support and how glad we are to have you with us on a Friday night. Chris Maris, Tom Eichwald. We are bringing you CBC versus DeSmet. We're going to step aside for a little bit. When we come back, we will have second half basketball for you on the Cadet Student Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to DC Wilcup Gymnasium at CBC High School. I'm Chris Maris, alongside Tom Eichwald, who's getting his headset on as we inbound the ball to begin the second half between CBC and DeSmet.
And we are underway at 35. Hope you enjoyed your break. We are back for what should be a very fun second half of basketball. Boyd finds Folk, and we are underway. Just like the first half, we're starting with some scoring.
Little runner by Folk right there, and we'll see how things go with DeSmet having to shoot into the CBC student section. It's always a favorite part of this for me.
You see the creativity. You see the 4 C's. You see the collaboration, the creativity, the creative problem solving.
There you go.
Communication. Thought I was going to blank on one there for a second. Radovich for 3. No good.
Left that short. Just didn't come out of his hand right. Had a good look at it.
37-35. DeSmet leads for the first time since the first few moments of the game. No good from Folk.
Howard from the corner, rimmed out.
Now Boyd. Folk again. This is Boyd for 3. Good start to the half for him.
Yeah, DeSmet comes out smoking hot.
17 points now for Boyd. For the Cadets, it is Reed, Howard, Radovich, Houston, and Brown. As that is out, this will be CBC ball. And for the Spartans starting the half, it is Folk, Massey, Thomas, Boyd, and Duff. Reed for the Cadets. Had himself a good first half, sitting on 14 points. And a drive from Brown, up and over, no good. There was a lot of Spartan in front of him as he ran into both Boyd and Thomas.
Chris Brown couldn't handle that pass underneath the basket right there. And a little low, but I think if you asked him, he said he should have had that.
3-point attempt is good. That's Massey. And a Cadet timeout.
Yeah, not the way CBC wanted to come out after the end of the, at the half. Not able to get a couple of shots to go down. DeSmet is red hot, and CBC is down by 8 after coming out tied.
It's 35-35 at halftime, and a good run to start for DeSmet. This timeout, by the way, happening with 5:54 to go. We know we lost the game clock there. Randy is working to get that back up and running, but until then, we'll be telling you the time again. This timeout with 5:54 to go here in this third quarter. I want to say thanks to Mercy Sports Medicine. Mercy is a top-tier Catholic health system nationally. They take great care of our student-athletes here at CBC, and they want to take great care of you as well. To learn more, you can go online, www.mercy.net.
Seeing CBC struggle a little bit here, and it's part of that maturation process with a team that's relatively young. I mean, only 3 seniors and only 2 that are playing, that are able to play, with Matthew Mahalski not able to go right now.
I mentioned Massey committing to North Dakota State University. Also, congratulations to Mahalski, you mentioned him, committing to continue his academic and athletic future at Rockhurst.
Jaden Reed with a nice cut to the basket after some good ball movement by the Cadets. Get CBC on the board here in the second half.
You needed something. Just needed something to go, but we talked in the first half about how those small margins sometimes, just a little bit of wiggle room for DeSmet can be the difference. And they don't need much, but they have the lead. And we're working to get that game clock going. 5:13 to go as that shot comes away, and it's good.
Oh, that was lazy play right there, and Massey.
Here he is again. 2 more.
CBC's wasn't prepared for a little bit of pressure there. Jaden Reed coast to coast on that one, though.
Jaden Reed the first to really kind of pick up the pace out of halftime for the Cadets. And there's Folk at the other end.
Coach Briscoe can't really burn another timeout right here, but CBC keeps getting out of position on defense.
This is Reed. Almost lost the ball there. Instead finds his Radovich underneath. Nikola up and no good. Frustrating night for him. That is out off of a Spartan. Correction, out of a Cadet.
Yeah, it went off of Devin Houston's hand as it went out of bounds.
4:19 remaining.
DeSmet, 10-point lead right here after coming out, tied at half. And CBC needs to kind of settle in here and get their defense going.
Massey finds Thomas. In the corner, this is Duff. Three-point attempt, no good. Nikola can't pull it in.
CBC is not going for some of these rebounds. I think they've got more help than they do, and it's not coming, even though they've got an opportunity to get some of them. That one, not so much, but.
Folk good again, and this one is in danger of getting away from you here in the next few minutes. You got 3:40 to go in the third quarter, and if somebody besides Jaden Reed doesn't pick it up a little bit, this could be very, very frustrating.
And
so the Cadets taking a full timeout. As the
two timeouts here in the third quarter. And they've got to fix some things defensively in terms of when the ball's coming down and coming out and getting after it. You lose it on an inbound pass because Devin, I don't think, realized there was somebody behind him. Gets poked away, and then he thinks it's going to go out of bounds, and they keep it.
I want to say thank you to BSN Sports and Under Armour, the official apparel providers of Cadet Athletics. They keep our players and coaches looking great on the field or on the court, and they want to help you look even better than you already do as well. You can, of course, shop on the CBC team stores on the Athletics website, or you can shop anytime at bsnsports.org. Looks like we got a few seconds, Chris, so let's tell the folks about Chick-fil-A. Just in case you don't know, there's a place called Chick-fil-A that makes delicious chicken sandwiches. They are the official chicken sandwich of the Cadet Student Network. They are very good to us. We're so grateful for their support. Our favorite location on Manchester, just east of Ballas. Would love to provide you your pregame meal, your postgame meal. Maybe stop by, get one on your way home, or next time you're on campus. You can always use the app to order ahead and just pick up your delicious chicken sandwich. So thank you again to Chick-fil-A. 3:35 remaining in the third quarter. Could have waited 2 more seconds and made it all threes in that announcement, Chris. This is Boyd. Good poke by Houston. Illegal, but good. Nothing going right now for the Cadets. That is Devin's first.
CBC foul number 0, Devin Houston is first. Team's first.
I mean, look, DeSmet doesn't get to 19-2 without being a really, really good polished basketball team. Bringing back a lot of guys that had a great season last year. You knew they had a run in them. It's a question of whether CBC can stave that run and then have one of their own to get themselves back in it. We saw that 2 weeks ago against Vianney, where they were struggling a little bit, and it looked like it might get away from them, and then they hunkered down and battled back and got it done.
That's the 19th point of the night for Boyd, as he has been the star alongside Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed also sitting at 19, so there's your scoring stars tonight. And that's out. And just frustrated body language from CBC, you can tell.
Well, the ball gets bounced. I mean, not being ready for the pass, not being ready for the ball. We got a lot of guys who just aren't ready for the ball to come to them. And they're surprised when it does.
Boyd. No good, just a little bit long. Good rebound by DeSmet again. And there's
a little walk.
Yeah, that's Butler who's on. And that will be a CBC ball. 3:07 remaining in the third now. There you go, we got the clock back, so you knew that. Good work by Mr. Randy Gardner, as always, to get that clock back up and running.
Nick Musig checks in for his first minutes of the night.
Yeah, Plummer first gets a break. That makes it Music, Houston, Alford, Howard, and Reed for the Cadets.
Nick had a nice game on earlier this week against Cape Central. DeSmet's on-ball defense has been so much better to start this half than it was in the first half. And CBC just not able to get any penetration or a shot.
Here's Houston on the spin. Gets away from him. At least it stays with the Cadets. And I was going to say, movement off the ball doesn't look as sharp or as crisp as it did in the first half either. So even if you got the ball, you're twisting and turning, you don't have a whole lot of options, and DeSmet is going to smother you. That's a bad combination. Reed pulls it in one-handed, gets a step on him. And contact, block, shot, no good. And DeSmet's going to come away with the rebound because, of course, they would. That's the way things are going right now. Thomas, there's Massey, points.
Transition basket right there.
Boy, that 10-second sequence about sums up the feeling of the moment, doesn't it, Chris?
It totally does.
And we get a foul called here. That's Thomas being called. His second. Folk checks back in. And a real test now for the Cadets. If you are late getting back from halftime, which some announcers almost were.
Nick Musig with the putback basket off the inbound play.
It is, this thing was 35-35 at halftime, and it has really been all DeSmet here in the third quarter. Bright spot for CBC has been Jaden Reed. Nice points there for Music, but it just seems like DeSmet's getting the possessions. They're getting the rebounds.
Oh.
Yep. Another frustrating reach for Devin.
Well, and the frustrating thing right there is the CBC, they're looking for Folk on the cutter down the lane. He slips, and the ball goes by, and you think it's going out of bounds. And Butler comes flying out and manages to grab it, keeps it alive for DeSmet.
And you have to say credit to DeSmet. They have started the second half exactly as you should. This is Boyd. Thought about the spin. Instead finds Duff. Up and good. This has really been an unpleasant quarter if you're wearing purple at home. Full credit to the Spartans who are getting the job done. You just need something to swing, some big momentum swing if you're CBC. Something has to go right here because the more this frustration continues, the uglier this one's going to get. And that's a foul called against Duff.
And with as physical as these officials have let them play through the first half, some of the fouls have kind of seemed a little like, okay, what are we doing? Bryce Million seeing his first action. Another freshman for the Cadets who's played a lot the last handful of games.
Bryce 5'10" guard, tucking in that jersey. Devin to Music. 120. Music lights through a poke.
On that inbound play, Devin had Million in the corner.
Alford for three, no good. Good rebound by Brown, and that is no good. And Massey comes away with it. Loses it. Music back up. No good. Music does get the rebound. Not a whole lot of options for him.
There we go.
4 points for Music now. 57-45, just under a minute to go in the third quarter, and we're going to get a timeout taken by Coach Williams. We told you about Mercy. We've told you about Tim Kylo, Chick-fil-A, BSN Sports. We should probably tell you about Athletic Republic, don't you think, Chris?
Go for it.
Hey, if you want to get in shape, maybe you got a spring sport coming up or looking to get in shape for the summer, Athletic Republic has you covered. So if you want to, you can reach out to our good friend Charlie McDaniel, CBC alum, over there at Athletic Republic. You can find out more online, www.athleticrepublic.com. And one more time, the presenting sponsor of CSN is Tim Kylo. He's a State Farm agent. He's a CBC alum, and he has been so good to us, and all he wants to do is help you save money on your insurance. So call Tim at 314-842-4442 or send him an email, tim@timkylo, that's KILO.com. Massey's going to inbound. He has Butler, Folk, Duff, and Boyd with him on the floor. This is Duff. Three-point attempt, no good. And good rebound by Butler.
Butler came flying in and curled around to get that rebound and got the putback.
40 seconds in the quarter. Alford working against Duff. Loves to shoot it, just trying to create that space. Good job by DeSmet to close the lane for him. This is Million. Now Houston. No good. Ball bouncing around. Devin comes away with it. He's going to fight through, can't get the shot away. It makes it out to Alford for 3, no good, and that's going to hit the support, of course.
And it ended up going down, but it doesn't count. Nice job by Nick Music after getting the ball out from Devin Houston, was trapped underneath and got a good look at the basket.
59-45, 12.6 to go. Maybe one more shot in the quarter. Good pressure applied by CBC. Nice pull-in by Folk. Boyd in the corner, 3 seconds, no good. And Brown will fling it. I think he got it away, but it's not going to matter. And we will go to the fourth quarter, 59-45. So this thing was CBC 19, DeSmet 15 at the end of the first quarter. DeSmet clawed back 35-35 at halftime, and really the deciding moment in this game, at least as to this point, was that third quarter. Very even first half, and it just got away from the Cadets here. 24-10 in that quarter, and you got to reverse that here in the second half. And CBC played better the back half of that quarter, but DeSmet just came out smoking hot, and CBC looked a little out of sorts. And Jaden Reed did a nice job to keep them in it, and get some scoring there. And he's one of the leading scorers in the game tonight, but gonna have to figure some things out. So we are getting set for the fourth quarter. That was Chris Maris. I am Tom Eichwald. You are watching the Cadet Student Network, and we are pleased to be able to bring you this one on a Friday night. We thank you for joining us and sharing this portion of your evening with us. Whether you're a CBC fan watching at home, maybe a DeSmet fan who couldn't make it to the game, we're glad to have all of you on the Cadet Student Network. Both teams coming out of the huddles. 14 points between them and 8 minutes left to play. It's going to have to go all CBC's way against a very good DeSmet team if they're going to pull off the upset here. But that is why they play all 4 quarters. This is not over yet. But if things continue as they were, with DeSmet as hot as they were and CBC as slow as they were, it could be soon. Houston, no good, but draws the foul. There's a positive. You take that. You build from it.
Well, it's an opportunity to get points while there's no time running off the clock. But Devin's got to hit his free throws.
Devin just 54% from the line coming into this game. Very flat trajectory on these shots. Quick release. That's good.
2 weeks ago when he played Vianney, he had 42, I think it was, and was very good from the line in that game.
Both good.
That's 12 for Devin now in this game.
Yes, Chris, that's what I had on my sheet too. I did not miss 2 at all. I had him at 10. That's officially 12 for Devin.
DeSmet seems to have slowed their pace down a little bit.
This is Thomas. Massey on the turn. And yeah, that hurts. Boyd puts 2 in.
Well, Boyd, Bryce Million against Boyd's a kind of a mismatch right there. Boyd's 6'4", and was Million go 5'10", 5'11"?
Well, if you're Bryce, you can't just let him score. You got to try to do something,
Yep.
So understandable there. But that is 21 now for Boyd.
I think he leads all scorers.
He does. He's got 21. Next closest is Jaden Reed with 19. Make that 22.
22.
This is Houston. One of those players who could turn it on. He certainly got the ability. No good. And he is swarmed. Like Uncle Leo in a bookstore. That is pressure. Just can't do anything with it. And this is a DeSmet ball.
You do need him to get hot, but he also,
There's 2 points for Harper.
He struggled to see whether or not he had somebody else to get the ball to.
Well, and as soon as he is under the basket, you see the entire Spartan team collapses on him. Just gives him no sight lines. I don't think he can see a thing.
Well, and he's so good underneath there, making a lot of these hard contested shots.
They just haven't been falling. I think he's probably hit every square inch of that rim tonight, and just it's not going in for him. This is Folk. No good. And they're going to get Devin with a foul here? No.
No, I think they're getting it 4.
They are. Boyd. I've got that as his third, confirmed by Butch Dimovitz on the PA. So 3 fouls now for Boyd. Well, for CBC, I think one strategy here as you're trailing late is just to attack Boyd like crazy. Try to get those 4th and 5th fouls, get yourself to the line at the same time.
Well, I thought Nick Musa giving CBC some good minutes right there.
They did.
Allowed Jake Plummer first, Christian Potts, and Nikola Radovich. Nikola. Sorry, I struggle with that one. I don't know why.
It happens to all of us sometimes. This is Reed. Shot no good. You can see it just didn't come out of his hand right. Boyd comes away with it, and he's going to be fouled by Brown. That is the first foul for Chris. That is the second foul of the quarter.
Well, and the way DeSmet looked like they were getting ready to break down the court, you know, that's not a terrible foul to slow them down.
Boyd. You'd see one of the inside pass there to Harper. Good job by Nikola to close that angle. 5:45 remaining in this game. DeSmet would happily do this for another 5 minutes and 40 seconds, but Boyd lays it in. No good. Put back by Harper. 6 points now for him. As the lead is now 19. Million trying to drive, and he's up against Boyd, and do they give it to Boyd? They do. Now, if you're CBC, that's potentially handy because that is his 4th.
No. They did give, okay. When he went over there, I thought he gave a different number.
So Boyd, star player in this game, all of a sudden on 4 fouls. He was sitting at 2 in just the last couple of minutes here. Good for Million. I mean, he is not the only talented scorer on this DeSmet team, so this is not as simple as get him out of the game and you're right back in at 19 points. But it wouldn't hurt if you're Cadets.
Well, Massey's got 18, so.
Yeah. This is Massey. So Boyd is given a break. Can't just go after him on this play as Massey brings it across. Underneath, this is Duff. Good from him. And now we get a whistle.
Called Duff for the technical because he's talking.
Okay, so that is a technical. He already had him at 1. He's got the technical now.
Coach Williams wants to talk to the official about that. And that should give CBC the ball as well as these shots.
And it will be Howard at the line. Good. So just the, I think that, does that make 9 for Tristan, I believe?
I think, yeah.
I'm going to make sure my math is correct. Don't want to make a mistake. Standing next to one of your high school math teachers.
Well,
you know, I thought long and hard about whether I wanted to go through with that, but
boy,
didn't mean to do that to you, Chris.
That's all good.
As Brown goes up, he's going to draw the contact.
Going to go to the free throw line. Tristan Howard got, as the pass came across, he got tangled up, fell down, still managed to corral the pass and get it over to Chris, who was able to go in and draw the foul. I mean, this is really kind of your only solution to get back in this game at this point with just under 5 minutes to go, but you got to make your free throws. It's an opportunity to score points without time running off the clock.
So Brown misses the first. Bryce Million heads back to the bench. Devin Houston back on. 4:53 to go. Deficit is 16 now.
Butler comes back in.
Yes, he does. That's the first point of the night for Chris. And now DeSmet is going to take back over. And a little bit of contact there. Good interception by Brown. This is Houston underneath. Should have this one. He does. Okay.
CBC coming with a little bit of pressure.
Now you need something. We'll pick up the pace. Some pressure. You got to get back. And that is a dunk from Butler up and over Radovich. You could see it, kind of the flex on Radovich, and immediately Coach Williams was telling him, stay in the game. There's way too much basketball ahead of us. And we're going to get the officials conferring 2 shots.
Coach Williams doesn't like that call.
Yeah, so that's the 3rd foul for Ronkin. Houston at the line. Hits again, makes it 15 points for him. Finishes off a fresh set of tallies on the point sheet. And hits the other one. Well, if you got to say, if CBC is going to come back and win this, they got to thank Reed for keeping him in the 3rd quarter and Devin Houston for hitting every free throw he's had so far in the 4th. Can't get that one to go. That's out off of Reed. Unlucky bounce there.
Yep. CBC's been doing a nice job on this full court pressure. I mean, on that last one, they gave up the dunk, but.
Well, and how does DeSmet feel about the situation? You just learned everything you need to know about what they're thinking. Boyd with 4 fouls, back on the court with 4:16 to go. They know they have to kill this stretch from CBC. They want their best players on the court to do it. Butler dribbles all the way across. He's going to be in no rush. Folk as well. This is Massey. A couple of pokes from Devin. He keeps possession. Now Boyd.
And this is all about eating time right here and trying to get CBC out of position for something easy.
3:51 to go.
And Radovich overcommit. I mean, and he's got to try to steal the ball with what's going on. Overcommitted there a little bit and allow Boyd the lane to be able to go down and get that layup.
And long-range attempt no good. Devin comes away with it, and that is going to be a jump ball, fortunately for CBC. No. Not a jump, that's a foul. And it is Butler's 3rd.
That should be CBC to the line.
Should be. That is the 5th in this quarter, of course. With the new way of keeping the bonuses. This is Houston.
We need those. Come on, Devin.
That one's on me, folks. I talked about how good the free throw shooting had been, but he's got that out of his system. And this is Devin Houston. Back on track.
There we go.
3:36 to go. 15 points. Boyd. Up and in.
It's 25 for Boyd per the scoreboard. I thought he should have 26, but.
Well, I have 24, so it averages out.
There we go.
3 minutes, 9 seconds. DeSmet breaks the press. Massey all alone in the corner. Plenty of time to pull this one up. No good as Howard comes away. Only guy ahead of him is Reed, but Howard's going to keep it himself. Draws the foul as Folk will pick up his 1st. And this will again send CBC to the line.
I don't know if Coach Williams is frustrated with his own player or with the officials, but he...
Somebody just got a front row seat to his thoughts.
He got a 15-point lead, and he's just animated about everything. Now, CBC is chipping away. It's probably too little too late, but you like to see the fight out of the Cadets.
And the lead is now 13, as close as it has been since the end of that 3rd quarter. Since late in the 3rd quarter, I should say. Foul here going against Devin. That is going to be his 3rd. It stays on the floor, though, just the 3rd in this quarter for CBC. With 2:52 to go. Now Folk. Will be a similar look from DeSmet. Pass it around. Maybe somebody drives, but no rush to do anything. Don't force a shot. Don't force a cross-court pass or anything. Just fundamentals and milk of that clock. Massey into the corner and is right through the wickets of Butler.
DeSmet was red hot in the third quarter, but the fourth quarter, CBC has been right there with them. They just couldn't stop the bleeding quick enough there in the third quarter.
Radovich for three, no good. And they're going to get Jaden Reed with a foul here.
CBC foul number 1, Jaden Reed, his first team's fourth.
There, you heard it. You probably heard it loud and clear in the mic. His first foul, fourth for the Cadets here in the fourth quarter. So they will head to the line with the next one. Massey fights through the contacts and ends up being a nice basket for Massey. And picks up the N1 as well. I enjoyed watching him tonight. He's been very, very good. 2:05 remaining.
I can appreciate it, but I don't know that I've enjoyed watching him. I can appreciate it.
That's probably well said from the Cadet Student Network. That one bounces out, no good. Houston up and no good. Radovich can't put it back. Butler comes away with it. Now Alford.
Just can't get it to go down.
The generosity of the baskets in the first half has not been matched here for the Cadets as Boyd puts it in.
Tried to go for the alley-oop right there from Folk to Boyd, and Folk missed that pass a little bit for that alley-oop.
Yep, 27 points now for him, in case you're wondering at home. And we're going to whistle here, and this is going to send Howard to the line. We got 11, was that? Yep, that is Braden Butler. 4 fouls for him now as Howard hits. It's him to 12 points. Correction, 13. One or two fans starting to make their way to the exits. As Howard picks up his 14th point. Looks like Kyron Jackson is going to come in and give Radovich a break. Minute and a half remaining. And that is going to be a foul called.
We're going to go to the free throw line here.
Yep, that's Braden Alford picking up his first, or second, third. Any more numbers I can throw out and be wrong. Third foul for Alford.
It's all good.
So Thomas is at the line, 1:25 to go. That's good for him. Student section sticking around though. I like to see that. They're not taking off. Thomas hits the second as well. And that one's just over the fingers of Jaden Reed.
I think that ball was supposed to be coming back out to Howard, and Reed went up and got it and tipped it before it got out there, but I could be wrong. That's just my vantage point.
Ends up in the hands of Harper, who puts it away. Houston back up, finally gets one to go. You know, as I said, Chris, it's been a frustrating quarter, but really CBC has not played badly in this fourth quarter. It's just game got away from them in the third. .36 seconds now. This game winding down. DeSmet just passing it around. Massey, he's going to draw the foul. That is Alford. We'll send Massey to the line with 26 remaining.
Massey's got 20 on the night already. And he'll add to that total.
Next up for the Cadets, they get back in action on Monday. That game is against St. Dominic.
It's a makeup game from this one that got snowed out earlier this year.
It is, and then they play SIUE Charter on Tuesday. They've got Cardinal Ritter on Thursday and Principia coming up next Saturday. So lots of action coming up for the Cadets as Howard lays one in.
16 for Tristan.
Now Boyd. That is going to be the last action we will see tonight. So with this, the Cadets fall to 10-9. The Spartans go to 20-2 as they continue what has been a fantastic season for them. Just not enough for the Cadets tonight. Good first half, very even basketball. One sloppy quarter, and that was the game.
Yeah, I mean, it really did. I mean, that third quarter just did them in, and they couldn't quite recover from that. And CBC will look to regroup, and hopefully they've got something to give for on Monday against St. Dominic's.
That's going to do it for our coverage. Want to thank you for joining us. That was Chris Maris. I am Tom Eichwald. Want to thank Randy Gardner for all his work tonight. We are so glad you joined us. We can't wait to see you again soon. Cadets lose this one, but it's been a pleasure to bring it to you, and we are glad you joined us. Thank you very much. We'll see you again soon. You've been watching the Cadet Student Network.